All right, let's talk weight loss pills. I mean, everyone wants to know what really works, right?
Right. It can be so confusing with all the options out there.
It really can. So we're taking a deep dive into a guide all about weight loss pills. We'll be talking about prescriptions, over-the-counter options.
And even some ways to save money along the way.
Exactly. So let's jump right in. We're going to start with the prescription medications that have proven to be effective.
Sounds good. It might be helpful to think about these medications in groups based on how they work.
Yeah, that makes sense. So which group should we tackle first?
Well, how about we start with the ones that help you eat less by making you feel less hungry?
Appetite suppressants.
Yeah. A popular one is Contrave. It's actually a combination of two medications, bupropion and naltrexone.
Interesting. Bupropion is usually for depression, and naltrexone is used to treat addiction. How do those help with weight loss?
It's a pretty fascinating combination. It works by targeting the hunger signals in your brain. Basically, it tells your body, hey, we're good here, no need to eat more.
So it kind of tricks your body into feeling full.
Kinda. And get this, studies have shown that people taking Contrave, along with diet and exercise, can lose like 5 to 8% of their body weight in a year.
That's pretty impressive. But how long does it take to actually see results?
Good question. It can take a little while to kick in. You're probably looking at 4 to 12 weeks before you really start feeling a difference in your appetite.
Okay, so patience is key with this one.
It is.
Got it. What other appetite suppressants are out there?
There's also Qsimia. And this one is kind of a double whammy.
Oh, how so?
Well, it not only reduces your appetite, but it also gives your metabolism a boost so you burn more calories throughout the day.
Wow, that's hitting weight loss from two angles. I like it.
Right, and this one is often prescribed for folks who have a BMI of 30 or higher, or sometimes even a BMI of 27 if they have weight-related health conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure.
BMI, that stands for body mass index, right? Just to clarify for our listeners who might not be familiar with that term.
Right, it's basically a calculation that uses your height and weight to figure out your body fat percentage and classify you into different weight categories. A BMI over 30 is generally considered obese.
Makes sense. So back to Qsimia, how effective is it compared to Contrave?
Qsimia is actually known for being super effective. People who use it can lose, on average, 9% or more of their body weight in a year. Of course, that's when they're making healthy lifestyle changes as well.
That's fantastic. And you said results can be seen faster than Contrave?
Yeah, sometimes you can start seeing a difference within 2 to 4 weeks.
That's encouraging. Any other appetite suppressants we should cover?
There's one more. It's been around for ages. Phentermine. It's a straightforward appetite suppressant. Works directly on the central nervous system.
Okay. And how effective is it?
It's known for being pretty effective in the short term, plus it's pretty affordable.
I bet that makes it a popular choice. What do you mean by short term, though? How long are we talking?
Doctors usually prescribe it for a few weeks or a few months, but they don't usually recommend using it long term.
Why not?
Well, there's a potential for dependence, so you definitely want to have those conversations with your doctor.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've covered appetite suppressants. Let's move on to another way to tackle weight loss. How about the pills that prevent your body from absorbing fat?
Great idea. The main one in this category is called Orlistat. You might recognize the brand names Ali or Xenical. Ali is over-the-counter and Xenical is prescription strength.
Oh, okay. So they're essentially the same thing, just different doses.
Yep, and it works by blocking an enzyme called lipase, which is what your body uses to break down fats. So when you take Orlistat, some of the fat you eat just passes through your system without being absorbed.
Fewer fat calories.
Exactly. Studies have shown that, along with a healthy lifestyle, Orlistat can help people lose between 5 and 10% of their body weight over a year.
That's amazing. But since it affects your digestion, are there any side effects?
There can be. Some people experience diarrhea or bloating. It's definitely something to consider.
Right. How long does it usually take to see results with Orlistat?
Probably around 1 to 3 months before you start to notice changes in your weight.
Okay, so we've talked about appetite suppressants and fat blockers. Are there any other types of prescription weight loss medications?
There is one more. It's called Plenity, and it's pretty unique.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, it's made from all natural ingredients, actually, cellulose and citric acid.
Interesting.
Yeah, and those ingredients form a gel in your stomach.
A gel.
Yeah, and the gel expands and makes you feel fuller, so you naturally eat less.
Oh, so it's kind of like a natural way to trick your body into thinking you've eaten more.
Exactly, and it has fewer side effects than some other options since it's made from natural ingredients.
What kind of results are we talking about with Plenity?
Well, people who use it, along with diet and exercise, have lost an average of 6 to 7% of their body weight over 6 months.
That's pretty good, but I'm guessing it doesn't work if you're still eating lots of unhealthy, high-calorie foods.
You guessed it. It works best when you're already making healthy choices and using Plenity to, support those choices.
So it's not a free pass to eat whatever you want. Got it.
Right.
This is all so helpful. Okay, so we've got a good understanding of how all these prescription weight loss pills work. But before we move on to over-the-counter options, let's take a second to make sure everyone knows which of these have been approved by the FDA.
Yeah, that's important. FDA approval means the medication has gone through all sorts of testing to make sure it's safe and effective.
Right. So which pills are we talking about? Which ones have that FDA approval?
Well, we've got orlistat, which we already talked about, and then there's phentermine, which is actually the combination drug that's marketed as Qsibia. And of course, we've got bupropion naltrexone, which is better known as Contrave.
Okay, so 3 so far. Any others?
Yeah, there are 2 more that are FDA approved for weight loss, but they were originally designed to treat type 2 diabetes.
Oh, interesting. Which ones?
One is called liraglutide. It's sold under the brand name Saxenda.
Okay, what about the second one?
That one is called semaglutide, which is the active ingredient in Ozempic, which I know you've probably heard of.
Ozempic, yeah. I feel like I'm hearing about it everywhere.
Right, but it's actually also available as a weight loss medication. The brand name for that is Wegovy.
Oh, okay. And is it a pill, too?
Actually, no. Both Saxenda and Wegovy are injectables, not pills.
Good to know. Okay, so that's our FDA approved list. Super helpful. Now let's talk money. We all know prescription medications can get pricey. What about these weight loss pills?
They can be, yeah, but there are definitely ways to make them more affordable.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Lay it on me. What are some tips?
First is always check for manufacturer discounts and coupons. Lots of pharmaceutical companies offer them, and you can usually find them on their websites.
Oh, that's a good idea. What else?
Another good thing to do is see if there's a generic version of the medication available. Generics usually have the same active ingredients but are way cheaper than the brand name versions.
That's a great tip.
And of course, check your insurance. Some plans cover these medications and some don't. It really depends. If your plan doesn't cover it, you might be able to appeal the decision. It's worth a shot.
Good to know. Anything else that can help with the cost?
Yeah, you can use a description savings program like GoodRx.
How does that work?
Well, they basically negotiate discounts with pharmacies, so you often end up paying a much lower price for your medications.
That's awesome.
All right. The main thing is to be proactive and do your research.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked all about prescription weight loss pills. What about folks who aren't ready to go the prescription route? What over-the-counter options or supplements are out there?
Great question. And that's exactly what we'll be discussing when we come back from the quick break.
Sound good? We'll be right back to explore all the non-prescription weight loss aids. Okay, we're back, ready to talk about all those over-the-counter weight loss options and supplements. You know, the ones you don't need a prescription for. What are some of the, most popular ones?
Well, if we're talking FDA-approved over-the-counter weight loss pills, there's really just one.
Just one?
Yeah. It's called Alley.
Oh, Alley. We talked about that a bit earlier, right, when we were discussing orlistat.
Exactly. Alley is the over-the-counter version of Xenical.
Okay, got it. So it's basically the same thing, but a lower dose.
Yep. Alley has 60 milligrams of orlistat. Xenical, the prescription one, has double that.
So if someone wants to try that fat-blocking thing but doesn't want to go to the doctor yet, Alley could be a good option.
It could be, but it's still a good idea to talk to your doctor first.
Even if it's over-the-counter?
Oh, for sure. They can just make sure it's safe for you,
Okay, good point. What about some of those other brands you see in the drugstore, like hydroxycut and lipozene?
Oh yeah, those are popular, but they're actually considered dietary supplements, not medications.
Is there a big difference? I mean, for the person buying them.
The main difference is that the FDA doesn't regulate supplements the same way they regulate medications.
So they don't have to go through as much testing.
Right, so it's important to do your research and make sure you're buying from a reputable company. And you have to be realistic about what they can actually do,
Yeah, that makes sense. So what about those specific brands? How does hydroxycut work?
Well, they market it as a thermogenic fat burner.
Thermogenic. I've heard that word before. I'm not really sure what it means.
It basically means it increases your metabolism and your body temperature. And that leads to more calories burned.
Oh, so it's like turning up the heat on your body's calorie-burning engine.
Ha! That's a great way to put it. Hydroxycut has a bunch of ingredients like caffeine and herbal extracts that are supposed to create those thermogenic effects.
Interesting. What about lipozene? How is that one different?
Lipozene's main ingredient is glucomannan, which is a type of fiber.
Okay, and...
It kind of works like Plenity, that prescription pill we talked about earlier. It expands in your stomach to make you feel full.
Oh, so it's all about portion control, making you feel satisfied with less food.
Yep. Now, there are also some supplements out there that are specifically for women.
Oh, really? Like what?
Like Lean Bean and FenQ, for example.
Okay. And what makes them different?
Well, Lean Bean is supposed to be all natural, and it focuses on things that might be more of an issue for women trying to lose weight, like hormonal changes and cravings.
Interesting. So what kinds of ingredients does it have?
Things like green tea extract, glucomannans, and vitamins. FenQ, on the other hand, is more of a multi-action thing. It's got ingredients that try to do it all.
Do it all. Like what?
Suppress appetite, boost metabolism, and even improve mood.
Wow. Okay, so it's kind of like a weight loss support system all in one pill.
Exactly. Now, I know we talked about Ozempic earlier.
Yeah, Ozempic. I'm hearing about it everywhere these days.
It's super popular. It's not actually a pill, though. It's an injection.
Oh, right.
It was actually first developed as a diabetes medication.
Really? How did it become a weight loss thing?
Well, they were doing studies on it for diabetes, and they noticed that people were losing a lot of weight. So they decided to do more research, and eventually the FDA approved it for weight loss. They call it Wegovy.
Wow, that's fascinating. So how does it actually work for weight loss?
It mimics a hormone called GLP-1, which your gut naturally produces.
GLP-1. Okay, and what does that do?
It regulates blood sugar and appetite. So when Ozempic mimics it, it slows down how fast your stomach empties, which keeps you feeling full longer. Plus, it also works on your brain to reduce those appetite signals.
So it's like a double attack on appetite, working in the gut and the brain.
Exactly. And the results have been pretty amazing. Studies have shown that people using it can lose like 15% or more of their body weight in a year.
Wow, 15%. That's more than a lot of other medications, right?
It is, but it's not a quick fix. It's definitely a long-term commitment. And, there could be side effects.
Like what?
Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, those are the most common ones. But overall, it seems to be pretty safe. But of course, it's important to talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you.
For sure. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of different weight loss aids. It seems like there really is something for everyone, huh?
There really is. And I think that's the key takeaway here. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. The best weight loss aid is going to be different for everyone.
Right. It all depends on your individual needs, right? And what you're comfortable with.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have those conversations with your doctor.
Totally. They can help you figure out what's best for you. All right, well, we've covered a lot today. Prescription pills, over-the-counter options, supplements, even injectables.
It's a lot to process.
It is, but hopefully everyone listening feels a little more informed about all the different options out there. And remember, these weight loss aids, they're just tools. They work best when you're making healthy lifestyle changes too, right?
Absolutely. Diet, exercise, those are key.
Right, it's about finding what works for you and making those sustainable changes for the long haul. So any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I just want to remind everyone that everyone's weight loss journey is different. Be patient with yourself. It's not a race. And, celebrate those small victories along the way.
Love that. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Talk to your doctor, find a support group, surround yourself with people who believe in you.
Yes. Support is so important.
All right, well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of weight loss aids.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have. But remember, we've only scratched the surface. Keep learning, keep researching, and never stop being curious about your health.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, happy diving. Wow, we covered a lot in this deep dive. It's kind of mind-blowing how many options there are for people who want to lose weight.
Yeah, there are a ton. It can definitely feel overwhelming. We talked about prescriptions, over-the-counter pills, supplements, even injections.
It's a lot, and I think it just shows you how important it is to, personalize your approach to weight loss.
Oh, absolutely. What works for one person might not work for someone else. Everyone's different.
Exactly. And your doctor can really help you figure out what's best for you.
Definitely. They're your best resource for navigating all these options.
Yeah, for sure. So for anyone listening who's feeling a little lost, where should they start?
Call their doctor, make an appointment, talk about their weight loss goals, and don't be shy about asking questions.
Right. Be proactive. Take charge of your health.
And remember, the more you know, the better decisions you can make.
Right. Knowledge is power. Now, it's important to remember that these weight loss aids, whether they're pills, supplements, or whatever, they're just tools.
They are. They're not magic. They work best when you combine them with, healthy habits.
Okay, like eating a balanced diet and getting regular exercise.
Exactly. It's about making those lifestyle changes that you can stick with for the long term.
That's so important. And, be patient with yourself. It takes time. Weight loss is a journey, not a race.
So true. Don't get discouraged if you hit a plateau or have a setback. Just keep going. And remember to celebrate the small wins along the way.
The small wins are huge. They keep you motivated. And remember, you don't have to go it alone. Talk to your doctor, find a support group, lean on your friends and family.
Yes, a good support system can make all the difference.
Well said. Okay, I think we've covered pretty much everything about weight loss pills, supplements, and injectables.
I think so. We really went deep.
We did, and hopefully our listeners feel more confident and knowledgeable about their options now.
That's what we were going for.
But this is just the beginning, right? There's always more to learn, so keep doing your research.
Yeah, stay curious.
All right, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, happy diving.
PC1.